Hey everybody, this is Daniel Troutman,
Emmanuel Morel,
tag team for Bothersome Truth, and we're going to get right into it. Is Donald Trump destroying his own campaign? Let's get into the Bothersome Truth.
So experience this week with Donald Trump. This is like Donald Trump's worst week ever. He basically committed every single sin you could possibly commit in a political career, in a political election cycle. Everyone knows the last thing you ever do, any politician, is insult veterans. You never insult veterans, ever. Hands off veterans, it's an auto loss if you're a politician.
Families who have lost someone, you don't attack them. And what does he do?
He goes and attacks a veteran.
His wife, if you look at his wife, she was standing there. She had nothing to say. Maybe she wasn't allowed to have anything to say. You tell me, but plenty of people have written that.
So, a veteran. So, he did this before with John McCain. And we were a little bit passive about it. That's fine. I think most people didn't actually care because it's John McCain or whatever.
I thought it was unacceptable.
I still thought it was unacceptable. But I think in the whole political narrative, I think in the larger spectrum.
Of all the crazy things he said.
Yeah, exactly. But when you get down to specifics of families and their lost children or whatever, I think that's when, honestly for most people that's enough is enough. And then of course when you're accepting the Purple Heart from veterans, when you didn't earn a Purple Heart and you had the opportunity to earn a Purple Heart, but then you skipped by it.
More than once. So
there are several reports that have been done on this fiasco that's been happening. I want you to take a look at one in particular.
So he said, Clinton opens up with a 10-point lead as of Wednesday, August 1st. That's according to a Fox News poll, a 10-point lead over Trump. So it makes you wonder, is he doing all this just to destroy his own campaign?
Yes, it kind of feels like it's in self-destruct mode.
Yeah, every time he says something, it makes me wonder, does Donald Trump want to be president? I don't know what the strategy is. It's like every single thing you are not supposed to say, he says. And sometimes I get it. Like when he said that the Russians should go after the missing emails for Hillary Clinton, that was funny, but he did it during the DNC. So I thought, oh, well, he's doing this to get attention on himself and less attention away from the DNC. It didn't justify it. I'm not justifying anything that man says, but I understood maybe a branding strategy there. But this, I don't understand. It just seems like he is going off the rails. And ironically, the Republicans who have endorsed him and will continue to endorse him are the ones criticizing him. I don't know if it's just, maybe he just doesn't want to be president.
Yeah, this is very strange to me. And the fact of the matter is, if it is what I'm thinking it is, I know that everyone's not going to think this, but if it's what I'm thinking it is, that just shortly after the Democratic primaries finally has a nail in the coffin and Hillary Clinton is going to be the Democratic nominee and there's no coming back from Bernie Sanders, there's no way he's going to be able to re-enter the race as a Democratic nominee, then suddenly Donald Trump wants to hit the reset button and detonate his own campaign. That raises a lot of questions.
I know where this is going. So are you saying that you think that Donald Trump is a plant by the Hillary campaign to help ensure that she wins the White House?
This is what I know. This is the most hysterical hysterical election I have ever seen. Even if Donald Trump hadn't gotten this far, even if he didn't win, he would have pulled the conversation, he would have been successful with pulling the conversation so far to the right and so far into Looneyville that he would have sabotaged the Republican Party, just having to have a conversation with that kind of lunacy, right? And whoever's on the Democratic side of the aisle benefits from that, even if he doesn't win. But then, let's say he wins. I mean, that's an even better situation to be in, right? Because if you've known Donald Trump for 25 something years, right, and you've invited Donald Trump, or he's invited you to his weddings and stuff like that, and you have a personal relationship with Donald Trump, it'd actually be pretty convenient to have this lifelong Democrat, run as a Republican and to change his entire rhetoric up run as a Republican, be successful and become the nominee, and then once you're declared the nominee, hit the self-destruct button and drop out. That's all I'm saying.
And you know, there is talk of this. There's been a few rumors and stories, reports actually this week, where there was conversation about if Donald Trump decided to drop out, what would the Republicans do? How could they handle it? Would they try to install like a Romney or a Gary Johnson, somebody to try to fill that space? I don't know how true that is. Donald Trump refuted that and said he doesn't have any plans on going anywhere, but I don't believe anything he says anyway. So, but it does beg the question, what is going on with this Donald Trump campaign? And ironically, it just seems that no matter what he says, no matter what he does to this point, nothing has stopped him from climbing the polls and being popular, even attacking the Kahn family, because he never attacked the son, he attacked the mom, and that's when it went too far for people. Even then, the Republican machine has started saying, oh, well, is Kahn part of the Muslim Brotherhood? Some Trump supporters believe that. Is Kahn just being hired by the Democratic Party to attack Trump? Probably. But they still lost their son.
Yeah.
You know, so it goes back to the machines now working on the other side to try to minimize the effects of the Kahn family. But again, this week has really seemed like Donald Trump went all out to destroy his own campaign, and yet it still seems like it can't be destroyed. It's still going.
Yeah. So what you're experiencing now, I think, and I want everyone to look at this. Of course, you have the 10-point lead with Clinton. Clinton's favorability isn't getting any higher.
No, it's not.
And what we have to also remember is that there are other competitors in this race. No matter what the mainstream media wants you to believe, there are 4 competitors in this race.
4.
Let me ask you something. Do you think that the mainstream media, which has an investment with the Clintons, it will report accurately on the polling of any of those other 3rd or 4th way candidates? Do you think that they have an interest in making sure that you don't believe they have a fighting chance, and that the only competitor that has a chance at winning, or candidate that has a chance at winning, is Hillary Clinton?
I think the media is in the position where they're going to stick with the status quo, so they're going to bias the Democratic and Republican Party candidates. They're not really going to pay much attention to the Libertarian candidate or the Green Party candidate until we as voters force them to.
Yeah.
And once we force them to, and we get them onto the national debate stage, we get them into the town halls, we get them on the ballots, that's when the mainstream media is going to be forced, whether they like it or not, to pay attention to those candidates.
Yep, and that's actually what's happening right now. I think there's a rise in the polls with Gary Johnson, rise in polls with Jill Stein. I think people are moving. I think that the Dem exit has already happened. You had the interview with Khalid come out, like, this is happening. This
Check
is
out the interview.
going
really
right now. The real liberals are leaving the Democratic Party in order to jump ship with the Green Party, and the people that were independents and libertarians are going ahead and going to Gary Johnson. This is a 4-way race. We've stopped Trump. Trump has been stopped. This week was too terrible for him to recover, I believe.
I don't know. We'll keep watching, because the reality is, as much as Trump had a terrible week and he may be trying to destroy his own campaign, he may not even be good enough to destroy his own campaign. It may keep going where he wants it to or not.
Okay. Well, that's the bothersome truth.
See you in the next video.